Hello, and welcome back to Interculture Podcast.
Hello.
Today, we are going to talk about pets, which is a big part of our modern life right now. And I know people love their pets like their own children. And there's a whole $1 billion of industry behind that.
But before we dive in, I want to check in and see how you're doing these days.
Yeah, it's cold. Since I'm from Izmir. Izmir's kind of like California here.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But you've been living in New York for how many years now? So you should be used to it.
5 years. I'm afraid I'm not. When I'm like exposed to that cold outside, it just annoys me a lot. It bothers me.
As for myself, I started watching one of the, depending on your point of view, either the worst or one of the greatest reality shows of all time. Do you have any guesses?
Let me take a guess. Is it every Saturday?
It's old.
Oh.
Old.
Reality show.
Jersey Shore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. My TV tastes have gotten trashier and trashier since the pandemic started.
I've seen you watching Bachelorette, so.
Excuse me. The Bachelorette's a great show, so. Anyway, so that's my life these days, is watching some very ridiculous behaving people, and I'm enjoying it.
I never watched Jersey Shore before.
It's an acquired taste. They're kind of like high school partiers. I mean, they're in their early 20s, but they kind of act like they're in high school. But the challenge watching this show is you try to find the redeeming qualities in each of them.
Okay. I still prefer watching Top Gear.
Top Gear?
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Does it have to do with cars?
Yeah.
Of course it does. Why do I even ask? Okay, yeah. Well, I won't be watching that. But anyway, let's get out of this television conversation and save it for
Yes.
a rainy day, which it is.
When I see these dogs, I go crazy every time out of the street. Samoyed or Eskies.
Eskimo dog, yeah. There's a lot of huskies at the animal shelter right now, just FYI.
Are they?
They have like a ton of them.
Oh.
I don't know what happened if there was a hoarding case or something, but they have a ton of huskies. That's how they get a lot of their animals, are from those hoarding cases, which is pretty sad, but sometimes you get a nice pet out of it, I guess. I did see my neighbor's dogs today, and one of his dogs is an absolute psycho.
That pit bull?
Well, it's not even the pit bull. It's a smaller one that's like crazy. But he has a new pit bull. Did you see? He has a new pit bull, but the smaller one I thought was gonna like come to me and like wanted to be petted. And I looked at its face and it immediately started like snapping at me and barking. And I thought, that's not normal.
That's not friendly at all.
And then the other pit bull, I mean, I know like pit bulls are a really controversial subject, but I get a little scared, and especially because the guy who walks them, when he gets inside the building, he just like lets the leash go. They're just loose in the building, and I just like stay away because I'm too scared. Because they already have like one dog that's like, it's not right. You can ask anyone in this building, that dog is like messed up. And then they have that new pit bull. I don't know anything about it.
They don't like make a good example to each other. You know, they're like encourage themselves to be like that.
They get like a pack mentality, and sometimes that's okay, and sometimes it can be really bad. I don't know. That's the thing, like, I mean, maybe we should get into this since we're talking about pets. Pit bulls are kind of a touchy subject for people.
Not just pit bulls, and every dog. There's a guy like that in my neighborhood too. 60-year-old guy, and then he has one German Shepherd and one Rottweiler.
Oh,
He's
wow.
walking the street every day. You can see that he's like trying to be masculine and try to show his leadership skills,
Yeah, sure.
leadership capabilities in front of other people. He makes them like do some crazy shit in the street, and then he brags about them. Do you remember we went to this Lebanese restaurant in my neighborhood one day?
Yeah. Yeah, and his dogs like jumped on that
He jumped on that, yeah, like a porch. He bragged about them that no one asked him to do that, you know? No one needed to
yeah.
see.
Well, I think that's definitely the type of guy out there
Yeah.
that likes to have these scary, strong, tough dogs, and then he like is like the top dog or whatever.
Himself might be like a lonely psycho.
Well,
Try to impress people, crazy shit going on in his head.
he just wants attention, that's all. It could be darker, or it could just be he likes attention from people. That's typical. But going back to the pit bull thing though, I mean that's different because in Turkey I believe pit bulls are actually banned.
No, yeah, but we can still breed one.
But I mean some people think that pit bulls should be banned in the US.
Well, my neighbors used to breed pit bulls.
I just don't know why you would breed pit bulls because you can breed other types of dogs that don't have like those issues, like genetic issues I'm talking about.
I think it depends how you raise them.
To an extent, yeah, but
I saw some really like peaceful, friendly pit bulls.
they were bred to like be bait dogs for bulls. You can ask like dog behavioral specialists about this. They have like triggers and will just snap and then bite and not let go. They won't let go even as they're being like beaten to death. They won't let go. This is not like normal predator behavior. It's something that humans bred into them. I mean, humans did this to them. Don't get me wrong. Nature did not do this to them. Humans did it. It's not like it's their fault. It's not like it's the dog's fault or the owner's fault. They still have traces from when they were bred to just be like bait, you know? Seriously.
Yeah.
That's what, like, I think it's a touchy subject. Like, I don't think we should just get rid of all pit bulls. I don't think that. But I think we should just stop breeding them. It's too dangerous. You should just let slowly over time let this breed die out because it's in their it's in their genetic code at this point, that behavior. It's not their fault. They might be a lovely nice dog.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's my opinion. I know it's like something, especially animal rescue centers really push the fact that pit bulls can make great pets and we shouldn't just ignore them and let them sit in a cage and never get adopted or whatever. But the fact is that those animal shelters are really just trying to like get dogs adopted. Pit bulls are a difficult breed. You know, you have to have like a lot of knowledge and understanding about the breed to give them proper care. And I think it's the way they want to push people to adopt more different breeds. Sometimes it can be a problem where people who don't understand that these dogs require like special attention and care are getting them thinking they're a great pet because they've been misinformed. But that's nothing against animal shelters either because I foster, you know, I love fostering and I support animal shelters and adopting dogs. And I to an extent I support adopting pit bulls too. I'm just saying that I think it's a lot of people want to fight biology and there's no fighting biology. That's all I want to say.
You should watch the show on Disney Plus.
What show?
The Dog Whisperer, Cesar Milan.
Oh, that
I love that show.
Hispanic guy. I haven't watched that. I have talked to you about how I watched the Jackson Galaxy, the cat whisperer guy.
I love that show too.
I like him.
Are cats getting like more prettier and more like beautiful day by day? There's some like genetic modification on them too. I'm seeing cats with like bigger eyes, shinier furs,
Well, there's cat breeders everywhere, you know?
smaller ears, and then I don't
Yeah,
know. They look like the cutest thing ever.
cat breeding has gotten pretty crazy. Have you seen that person who's trying to breed a cat that looks like a tiger, but it's like a house cat? Has the same markings of a tiger.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
people are funny. But yeah, animal breeding is still a moneymaker. And people love it. You know, people love
Yeah,
that they can raise baby animals. Come on.
I know.
But a lot of people are like, adopt, don't shop. I think that's true.
They will be willing to pay more. It was like a better looking animal.
Sure. I mean, not just good looking, but they're manipulating their appearance, definitely, for better or worse.
You know, like those like gray cats, like I think the Scottish.
Scottish short hair, you mean?
Yeah, they have like a chronic disease, suffering pain until they die.
Aww.
Yeah.
Have you seen those people that are trying to breed out the dogs that have like the crushed snout? French bulldogs, right? Yeah, they're trying to breed them back into like their natural nose because humans have been breeding dogs that have the flat snout and they have a lot of breathing and like respiratory issues. So there are some people now that are
Mm.
trying to breed these dogs back into like their more natural nose, which is good for them. It's hard when they're so cute though. But I don't want them to be in pain.
Hmm.
But at the same time, when you're breeding them to like get the snout back, you're making a lot of dogs that are like in the midway point. I don't know. I don't know about animal breeding.
Yeah, we are a dangerous species.
Humans?
Yes.
I think we've covered that on this podcast.
They apply to that humans. Think about like parents that pay more to have like blue-eyed children.
Oh, what's that called? Eugenics.
Yeah.
Eugenics. Yes. Yeah, it is interesting because we say it's fine to do this to animals, but if we think about doing it to people, then we're like, oh no, that's a major problem.
Mm.
Which I guess it is. Don't support eugenics. But I don't know. It's interesting the fact that we take issue when it's us. Is it going against nature? I don't know, but some people would argue that. But pets aren't natural, really. I mean, there's a line, isn't there, between domestic and wild?
Yeah. They all descended from wolves. So we changed that.
But there's no going back to like putting them back into being a
No, there is
wolf,
not.
you know, at this point. I mean, that would be crazy.
Shows your economic status.
Having a pet? Yes.
I don't know. I've never seen a pit bull who's walked by a rich Upper East, like an elite.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Either they have like a Pomeranian or it's a status marking.
Yeah.
There's a grooming industry behind that, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I heard like there's insurance for dogs, and insurance for your pet.
Of course, you need health insurance for the dog. Maybe there's other types of insurance for
Yeah,
pets
that's
as
how you know
well.
you're living in a developed country.
Well, congrats to us, I guess. But I support it. Yeah, that's an animal. It's not the same species as us, but we shouldn't treat them with less respect because they're not a person. No, they're still a life. They still feel pain and joy the same as we do. So we should treat them nice, in my opinion.
I agree.
One nation's pet is another nation's food, such as China eating dogs.
That's only like rural parts of China, not like everywhere in China.
But they have like a dog meat festival,
Yeah,
though.
that's like a really like rural area,
Oh, it's more
which is like
rural.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm not surprised to hear that. I don't see the elite Chinese upper crust being like, oh, I want to eat a dog for dinner tonight.
Depends on like climate wise and terrain wise. affects eating habits too. Like Amazon climate areas, there's like farmland. There's no soil you can just.
Right. It's not agrible.
Those people that those tribes eat wild animals, they have to.
Sure. What I was getting to though, I mean, these are all animals, right? But in some cultures, an animal that's like a member of your family, that same animal in another culture might just be seen as completely disposable
Yeah.
dinner. There's like varying values, degrees of value placed on certain animals, and I think pets are considered to have a higher value to humans. Or would you argue that? Would you say someone values their pet dog the same they value a kangaroo or something?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I would tend to say not. Especially if it's their own dog that they love, obviously. That's
Yeah.
different. But to some extent, I don't blame people for seeing animals on a lower like tier in terms of value than humans because that's only natural to us as another animal living in this earth. But I do think about them being a life, having experience, like wanting to live, wanting to be happy and avoid pain. They're not that different from us.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I'm no longer a vegan, so I eat some animals, right? I do. But I still try to, like, at least treat animals I encounter with the same respect that I would treat a
By saying
person.
treating animals, I saw videos of people who teach their pets, communicate them with words.
Oh, are you talking about those little soundboards that they put
Yeah.
on?
I saw this
Yeah.
video and like it blew my mind, you know, this dog like just almost like talks to.
Yeah, that stuff's stupid to me. I'm
Is
sorry.
it?
I mean, they're just memorizing sounds. They don't know English.
Okay,
They don't know
exactly.
the English language. They're just
Oh, okay.
memorizing sound and placement, which is still cool.
So yeah,
I mean,
right.
I'm not saying it's not cool,
Impressive.
but the way that some of those people talk to their animal
Mm-hmm.
and talk about their animal's ability is
Mm-hmm.
as if they understand everything and they're like it's like talking to you or I or talking to a toddler. And I'm sorry, but no, dogs don't have the same capacity for language that humans do. It's not like that. Certain sounds mean certain things, but that is vastly different than understanding language. The way they talk to their dog. Oh, do you miss your dad or whatever? It's like your dog doesn't know what you're saying. I don't know what I mean.
Yeah, for my case, my dog back in the day when I was like a teenager, he was my only friend. Sorry, she was my only friend.
What was your dog's name?
Nosley.
Nosley?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
It means I don't want to say grumpy, but
I love that.
spoiled.
You call your dog spoiled? That's really cute.
Sounds better in Turkish. I had her for like almost 5 years, and then I gave her away to one of my dad's friends' farm after I go to college. She was also like a shepherd dog.
Not one of the Kangol or whatever,
Yeah,
Anatolian.
one of the
One of
Anatolian,
those?
yeah, Anatolian shepherd dogs. Yeah,
Damn, those dogs are big.
yeah. Mine was like female, wasn't like that big.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that was nice, I think, to let the dog go live on a farm.
yeah,
It's kind of sad, though, to lose your friend.
yeah. It was sad. It was the worst thing in the world, actually.
Oh,
I wanted to take her with me, and then my parents were against it.
well, that's not very nice of
Yeah, I
them.
wanted to get a house with a small garden. You saw places like apartment buildings in Turkey. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
hard to have a pet, especially a dog, in a big city. There's
Well,
not much gardens or parks like in New York or anywhere
that
else in the
is
U.S.
okay. Yeah, in the city, you make it work, but that's because there are spaces you can take the dog outside. I don't think Turkey has a big culture of having dogs as pets, so maybe that's why there's not like the infrastructure for that. Dog
Mm,
runs, parks for your dog, because definitely did
I can
not.
say yeah, maybe we could say that.
I was in a more suburban area one night, and Memo's brother was really, really mean to the street dogs. And it made me really sad. I was kind of traumatized by this. He was like trying to run one over with his car, one of the street dogs. It was really upsetting. This poor dog like came up to the porch and was just sitting there like looking at him like a friend.
Oh my god.
And he was so mean to them and I was traumatized
Because
from
one was
that.
the youngest brother or
No.
really?
I saw that, it just really bothered me. But yeah, they're like roaming around in a pack in those areas. And there's some, even in Istanbul, there were some street dogs. Not a lot. You see quite a bit more cats,
Right.
which everyone knows if they spend time on the caternet, that Turkey's the place for cats. Street cats. If you want to see some street cats, just go to Turkey.
That's why we don't have rat problems.
Good for you.
So, I don't know. You should have that in here too.
You know what's so weird is in China, crickets are an extremely popular pet.
You mean the bug?
Yes, the bug. Like a grasshopper.
I never heard of it before.
They build these elaborate habitats for them, and they love them because of their chirping sound. And also, they're supposed to be good luck. But I didn't know people were still doing that. I thought that was like an ancient practice. I guess the sound of a cricket is nice. I guess I would be okay with that in my house. It wouldn't bother me. Not for you.
No.
But I wouldn't be like building these magical little habitats in my house for a cricket. Like, I don't know. That seems over the top. You know, in Korea, they have those small foxes with the big ears, like a fennec.
Oh yeah.
They keep those as pets. And I wonder, there's a whole ecosystem around exotic pets, and mostly I would say it's not a good practice.
Those are not even descended in South Korea. I mean, they are like basically a desert animal.
Yeah, they're a desert animal. The exotic animal trade is not very good.
That's a good point that you mentioned that. Yeah.
I mean, the fennec foxes, I don't know how happy they are in captivity. I'm not a fox expert, but you also see people who breed lion and tiger cubs for people.
There's one in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
They breed the animals and then they sell or rent them out to people, but you can't keep a full-grown tiger at home. They have them when they're young and then they're just disposed of, basically. You can't do anything with that because they can't live in the wild anymore. They don't know how to live in the wild, and
Exactly.
You could get the zoo to take them, but I guess maybe that might introduce the potential for getting a ticket for having a wild animal.
Have you ever watched Tiger King on Netflix?
Everyone watched Tiger King.
Yeah, I watched
because it was the beginning of the pandemic, right?
Yeah, I watched some of the episodes too. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's sad. It was definitely like as a reality series, reality documentary, they were definitely good TV personalities. But what they were doing is fucked up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel sorry for those animals. And also, it's really dangerous. I wouldn't want to live with some like 300-pound cat with me in the same house.
No. Even those guys who perform with big cats, they all get attacked at some point. They all do.
If I'm a lion, I wouldn't want to listen to someone who's like ordering me like this.
They
Crazy.
have natural behaviors, obviously, that you can't raise that out of them. And they're going to do what they're going to do at some point. I mean, even if you look at a house cat, some house cats will attack you or play with you really rough. Now just imagine if that was huge. And you have your answer, how easy it is for them to suddenly maul you. But I just think it's really fucked up the way people treat these animals as disposable props, props
That's really sad. Yeah.
for their Instagram video or whatever. Animals are living beings. They're not entertainment for you.
In wild animal trade, like they kill an animal and they stuff it, they froze it, and then they sell the actual killed animal.
I mean that doesn't always have to be unethical though. Sometimes they find dead animals and will prepare them for display. And some people do take their pets after they die and have them. It's a little morbid, but I don't know. I'd feel weird looking at my pet that's dead in my
I
house.
know it would feel weird, especially at night.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I wouldn't want to sleep in the same room.
with your dead house cat, I mean, I would feel the same during the day as I would sleeping next to it. Be like, it's kind of weird to see my pet that's dead just chilling with me. Anyway, but the fennec foxes are very cute if you see videos of people with them. But I've seen other people who keep foxes at home, and it's just a disaster. Their pee smells really, really bad, like obscenely bad, and they pee inside sometimes. They burrow into your furniture and destroy it and get into the food, and they're not pets. They're meant to be outside. Those little fennec foxes are awful cute though. I mean, I watch a video of it. I wouldn't keep one in my house.
You know what I find cute? The cutest? Snow leopards. I think they are the cutest.
I like snow leopards too.
Yeah.
I think cats and dogs are the most popular pets around the world.
Yep.
Like every country. But I don't know. In the US, I think people are really just crazy about their pets.
Oh, yeah.
I have many pets.
Exactly. You know the crazy thing? When my mom was here visiting me, she saw like most every other people walking their pets, even couples. And
If you come to New York on the streets, you'll see many, many cute dogs.
yeah. And then she was like, I really feel sorry for these people,
What?
because they tend to have pets instead of kids. So like, she was like, oh, when they get old, there's gonna be no one who's gonna take care of them when they're old.
It's just however people want to live their life, because kids are a lot more responsibility than a pet.
I know, it's still.
It would be nice when you're old to have young people around you that love you. I think that's nice. But the thing about a pet is it's for a finite amount of time. It's not for life. It's not as much money and it's not as much responsibility. I mean, making a person is impacting everything and everyone. Having a pet, it's not that big a deal. Maybe it's going to use less resources on the planet as well.
One of the biggest problems here, pooping and peeing in the street.
People or dogs?
Dogs.
Sorry.
Especially some parts of New York, they don't even like pick it up after their dogs.
I don't see that.
You don't see
I always
that?
see people pick up their.
Yeah, you maybe not here, but try to go up on the street and over.
I think that depends on the area, because I haven't seen anyone just leave their dog's poop somewhere.
Wouldn't want to pick up my dog's feces with even though like using a plastic bag, I wouldn't want to feel and touch that.
Done it 1,000 times. Not a big deal.
I used to carry some tools with me, not touch it.
Like a pooper scooper?
Yeah, some sort of scoop. But actually putting in a plastic bag sounds much better now.
Also, what about cats and litter boxes? Then the poop's inside your house. So.
Yeah, that's another thing.
And now there are robot litter boxes.
You know what? In Turkey, most people, they have a garden or something, like a small garden. Even the house cats, they roam around in the neighborhood and then they come back. So you don't have to like deal with their litter.
But don't the cats occasionally go in the house though, if you don't have something for them to go?
If they want to go out, they stand like right by the door or right by a window meow and then roam around for a couple hours and then they come back.
Then somebody else is dealing with their shit. Cats are pretty good about burying their turds, so
yeah.
People are so picky about their neighborhood here. I don't know if how that would go down. That's a good point though. Do we really need to have litter boxes in our house? I mean, if you live in New York, your cat can't go outside.
You have to.
Or else you won't see that cat again.
Yeah.
I don't think a cat would even want to go outside in New York. There's nothing. It would just be scared constantly.
Exactly.
Maybe in Brooklyn.
Maybe.
But
definitely not in Manhattan.
Not in Manhattan, no.
Actually, like raising a bunny sounds not bad.
I've seen more bunnies as pets on Instagram.
But you wouldn't want to take them out.
Outside?
Yeah.
No.
Even though it like leash and stuff, we wouldn't want to take them in the park.
Who puts a leash on a rabbit?
I don't know. People, you would want them to see some grass. You'd probably take them out at some point. What I'm afraid is in New York, probably a falcon would just grab it and steal that from you.
Well, you can't just let your bunny roam outside. It's going to go away. But if it was fenced in and you're in an area with hawks and stuff, I mean, they will come and pick up a bunny rabbit. So you got to be careful. I don't know about bunny rabbits, though, because I don't think they like to cuddle people that much. Not like a cat or a dog. I mean, I'm sure some of them do, but I don't think they're really known for that. And some people don't want pets for the cuddles, though. Some pets are just for looking at, like a fish.
Yeah.
Or a tarantula. But in those circumstances, I feel like it's a bit weird almost to just have a pet that you just look at. Because I feel like it's kind of mean to have them inside just so for my own enjoyment to look at when they could be outside in the world. I mean, I guess fish are different. If you have a nice tank for them, they're not going to mind that much, maybe. Having a giant snake in your house, snake's not really going to enjoy being in a small habitat. And there's dangerous snakes that people keep as pets, and then they get out and they eat you. They always get out.
Yeah, I didn't have these kind of desires, never.
I did see a cute snake at the pet store one time that I really looked at for a while. And I was like, dang, that's a cute snake. It was like $1,200 though. I'm not gonna buy that. But it was very cute. I would like to look at that and hold it. But they're not cuddly. They don't come and look at you like they love you. Like when you have a dog that loves you, the dog will come and look at you like it loves you. And then you feel really happy inside that something loves you.
Yeah.
You don't get that with the snake, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The snake just looks at you like, what the fuck is this creature doing?
Pythons eating like Everglades right now. They're even eating like crocodiles. Top of the food chain in the Everglades right now. They are originated in Burma, usually tropical place. I don't know like how they end up in the Florida, but
because people bring them, they want them. That's another instance of the animal serving your masculinity situation. Like you have this big, creepy, scary snake, and you feel like, yeah, I own that. I'm the top of the food chain.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the same thing with the pythons. Only those, I just don't think you should ever have a python as a pet because they always get out. You always hear anyone with a python, eventually it escapes its cage. And they eat people. Like straight up.
Right.
Crazy. People using pets to feel powerful, to feel like an apex predator.
Yeah. Many examples of that in the Middle East and Arabic countries.
A lot of those, Saudi oligarch guys, princes, whatever, they're the ones buying those tiger cubs.
Yeah. Almost every single one of them has tigers, lions.
And they also have falcons too.
Yeah.
Have you seen that picture of the two like rich Saudi guys on an airplane and they have their falcon with them and all the customers are complaining that their falcon's like shitting everywhere on the plane. I'd be pretty pissed off if I got bird poop on me on an airplane. But they do. They bring their falcons overseas with them sometimes when they
How are they even
travel.
able to do that? Does falcons doesn't count as wild animals?
I don't know. You got that oil money. You can make shit happen. I mean, I think falcons are really cool. I don't know about the ethics of keeping them as pets. Are they considered a good pet or
No.
okay? That was kind of my feeling.
If you have to wear a glove to carry them around, that doesn't consider good.
Yeah, I guess.
They have to like blind them when they carry them around.
Yeah. That just reminded me of horse blinders.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have horses in the city, which in New York they have carriage rides, and also police officers riding the horses,
Mm-hmm.
they have to have blinders on because otherwise they'll go crazy.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of animal rights pushback right now against the carriages because
Mm-hmm.
we just saw this summer on our street, right down the street, there was a horse that collapsed in the
Really?
heat and it died. But the owner, the carriage operator, was like kind of hitting it and trying to get it to stand up again, but it couldn't stand up. It was collapsed from the heat and dehydration. And there's been more push again. Like every couple of years they try to like put this law in place banning horses in the city, service horses.
In Turkey, it's banned.
It should be banned, in my opinion. I mean, I know it's cute. You go to Central Park and you ride in a horse carriage.
But you don't even connect with the animal.
Yeah, you don't.
They don't
Yeah.
even let you touch the animal. They don't even like let you greet the animal. You just sit in a seat and then
Yeah. It's just not nice for them.
make yourself carried around.
In New York, it's just not. I've seen like country places where people ride their horse into town. I'm okay with that. I don't see a problem with that. But New York is not a country town, you know? They get very stressed out and upset here, and they're
Exactly.
mistreated all the fucking time. I mean, that's how the ASPCA started. Did you know that? It
Mm-mm.
was people against the mistreatment of horses in the city,
Oh,
and they're still getting mistreated. Like 200 years later, it's still happening.
yeah.
If you have to put a blinder on your pet, that means that you're putting them in a situation that's stressful for them.
Exactly.
I think people shouldn't keep falcons, but I do think they're just like the coolest animal ever. I understand why they have them as pets, but I don't know. It's just an accessory for them. Same with the tiger cub, same with the other exotic animals. They're not really beings that they have a relationship with. They see them as an accessory, status symbol, like you were talking about.
Open your own like tiger land or tiger park. It's gonna be illegal now.
It should be illegal.
And it's really costly. Those animals eat like 40 pounds of meat every day. How could you like feed those animals?
That's a good point. Not enough people are going there to look at them.
Exactly. Most of the like money when they're like newly born or like really small.
I mean, maybe some people would say that animal agriculture is the same thing. But at least in that case, the animal is nourishing someone. At least they're not just being bred to die.
Mm-hmm.
I see people who have small farms, they kind of treat them like a pet a little bit, even though they know they're not going to get attached. I mean, I would prefer that. I would prefer they have some kind of relationship and let that animal live at least somewhat of a natural life.
Exactly. Well, I guess that's it.
Well, key takeaway for me that we should value animals' comfort and their life. And I love dogs and cats. They're great.
I think I've become more of a cat person in recent years.
I love them both.
Yeah,
Can't
me
choose
too.
between them.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway,
Anyway,
and thank you for listening to us.
Thank you for listening.
And we will be back next week. Email us at interculturepodcast@gmail.com or follow us on social media at interculturepod.